Stitches of love we weave so. In this online world we come to grow. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, where hearts align. Let's embrace the craft and let our souls shine.
Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly video. This is a cute little project that I was inspired by my adorable sweater. I thought, why not take that idea and make some either pillows, wall hanging, or whatever you like, just even just like a little table topper, right? So I went one step further because I like that so much. I thought, what if we turned the little heart into a snowman? So he looks cute. So we'll do the antler one today, but I'll show you how I got to this one. So let's do a little explanation. Okay, so I took the heart shape and I used heat and bond to form my heart as well as the nose. The fabric I just left plain the way it was. Okay, and I used heat and bond light for that. Okay, and that's great for doing any sort of applique. You want it to stay where it is, and then you stitch it down with a nice little decorative stitch, zigzag or a blanket or what have you. For the hat, what I took was a 7-inch strip of fabric and then a 4-inch strip of fabric, like 2.5. I tucked the bottom up just a little bit, tuck the top down just a little bit, and then for the red part for the band, I had this little strip left over from like projects of long time ago. I think it actually might be part of Allison's wall hanging, American wall hanging. So I just sewed it upon itself sort of thing and then just made a little band and then stitched down. So it's got a little bit of a ladybug, some plaid, and some other fabric there, just kind of what a little snowman would have. And if you wanted to, you could totally put some eyes on it. Just a couple little buttons right there, a little close together, a little farther apart, however you think they look cute. I'm kind of okay with not having the buttons on it, but I did put a couple on the hat just to kind of make it some fun. So what I was going to do for this one was do a French seam, which is you sew the front, like you got your right sides or your wrong sides together, and then you sew around like really close to the edge all the way, and then you flip to the inside, do another sew, and then you flip it out, but you can leave a little spot for your pillow. Okay, so that's easy right there. And then for this one, we're just going to make another matching one. Okay, so we have our and I used this double wide Dresden ruler as kind of like a game play for making my heart. So as you can see, it's almost the same sort of shape. I used the top part here as like a little indicator of where I wanted the top of the heart to come down into, and these two parts here to kind of indicate how far I wanted the outside of the heart to kind of curve down and then into here. So it makes a pretty little shape. Okay, so we have this lovely fabric here with some stars on it, and actually it's a lovely line, and I have one to give away for someone who leaves a comment. So yeah, we'll deal with that. So leave it, and then we're gonna heat and bond this together, trim it out, and then we're going to cut out our other antler. So when making the antlers, you just kind of need to do one shape and then take two of those pieces of heat and bond and make sure they are like facing each other. So you have the tacky stuff facing each other, so you're getting a mirror image of each other, and then you just trace out on the other side the other piece. Okay, so first let's tack this down, and then we'll trim out our heart and our antler. Okay. And be inspired what's around you. You can put a little elf hat instead of the snowman hat. You can put a little Santa hat. Whatever makes you happy. Put little ears instead of antlers. Put antlers and ears. Okay, so that should be pretty good. It only needs like a few moments to get itself ready. So let's kind of. And I do use paper-friendly scissors for this project because you are cutting through heat and bond paper. Okay, let's just kind of tuck that out of the way. Okay. And let's cut this out. I have some lovely variegated thread in the machine that adds a lovely light brown, dark brown, kind of like a little rusty color and like a burgundy. I find it very pretty and easy to blend in with many different things. Okay, so there is our one little heart. We've got our one little antler here. And I chose, for the size of blocks that I have, is 18 inches. So I have cut, if you're doing a pillow, slip pillow like this one here, let me show you. Okay, so you're going to need 3 squares. All right, and then you just take your pillow and you just slide it in. Okay, just slide it in like that. You'd have a bigger pillow, but I'll show you. And then you just take this side and you just kind of flip it right over. And everything stays nice and tucked in the pillow cover. Could be easily washed. So there we go. That's super cute. Love that. And we'll get our main square back here. And what we kind of want to do is just give a little temporary spot of where the half is. Okay, and since this is 18 square, we don't have to really worry about where is where. And we want to make sure this kind of comes in, but we want to kind of faux put our antlers at the moment so we know how much room we have between the top and the sides, right? So let's kind of scoot that there. Kind of want to utilize the space as much as possible. If you're kind of happy with that, that up just a little bit. And if you find that maybe your antlers are too dark and you can see it underneath, then just give it a trim so it's maybe about a ½ inch just tucked under where the heart is going to sit. Okay, so we're going to scoot that up a bit because we are a little bit close to the bottom. We'll make sure we're filling up the square, but we don't want to not lose the tip of our heart. Okay, so I think we're okay there. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to take one of my little marking tools. There we go. And I'm just going to put like a little pencil mark on either side of where the bottom of the antler is going to stay. And then that kind of gives us an indicator once we peel it and lay it back down of where we want it to go. Okay, so now that's heated on there. We peel it. Okay, you got a little shiny side there. And then you stick it right back down, aiming in those little spots of where you want it to sit. Okay, let's go there. And there. Make sure we're still happy before we actually heat it. That looks pretty good to me. I kind of like it. Okay, and then we'll just take it and we will set it. Don't go back and forth, just go like straight down. Give it a couple moments and then move on to the next section. Okay, just make sure it's all good. Alright, and then this, because it was running a little long, I wanted to give it a little bit of a trim so it's less being seen underneath the heart. Okay, keep that set. Alright, now we want to make sure we're doing our decorative stitch on this first before we put in the heart, okay? And start at the bottom and work your way up. I have my zigzag stitch set for a 4.4 and then a 0.90. And that kind of makes sure I'm getting on both sides. I'm trying to go mostly on the antler and just barely touching the background fabric. Now this will take a moment, so we'll see you at the end. Okay. Now, trim off our little threads. And we want to get the proper placement for where the heart is going to go. Okay. So we peel it. You could use different colored threads if you want to use, you know, whatever main color of your antler is. Oops, let me just put that a little button. Get it all the way. Then you can totally match it. I kind of wanted to use something that was a little bit different and added to some, you know, the pretty colors that we're all going within this project. The blues, the golds. Okay. Okay, on this side. Okay, we did. See how you can tell it's shiny? There we go. Now we take it. Find our proper position. Make sure we have enough at the bottom of where our little heart is going to go. That is, we have enough that we're going to be happy with it. If you maybe found out that your heart's a little bit too big, just give a little bit of a trim in, or maybe just even down at the bottom of the tip or something. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. We've got some equal coverage. It looks good. And we'll set it. Just kind of work your way from one side to the other, giving the glue enough time to heat up and adhere to your fabric. I'm just like slightly picking it up as I'm going. And of course you are going to stitch this down. You could do a nice little decorative blanket stitch too, even by hand if you wanted to, before putting this all together. That would take a few bits, but you could totally do that. All right, now we're just going to sew all the way around the heart. And what I want to do is make sure that I'm going to start and stop on one of the long straight edges, okay? So line it up, stitch all the way around. Don't be afraid to lift your needle and readjust if you need to when it comes to section. You've seen me do that as I was working my way around the antler. Tip, pivot, slightly adjust, tip straight up to where we started. Slight overlap. Okay. That's so cute. Looks adorable. Okay, now to do the slip pillow that I was showing you right here is really easy. So like I said, you need 3 18-inch squares for this. So what you're going to want to do is, with right side up facing you, you're going to take one of those 18-inch squares and you're going to have it so that the fold is not quite touching the other end, and you've got the other 3 sides are all lined up with your pillow front. Okay, just like that. Okay. Just a little bit bigger. Okay. And then you're going to take the other one that you've also folded over a couple of inches, and you're going to lay it in the opposite direction. Right here. Now you're going to pop a few pins in all the way around and sew it, and then you get something that looks just like that. Okay. And then there's no chance of you actually seeing any of the pillow underneath. You got some nice equal coverage for tucking the pillow in. Okay. And then for the French seam for this guy right here, I will show you. We're going to go around the first way with it facing us. We're going to leave a spot in the bottom. Let's say the bottom. Let's go to the bottom. And we're going to sew really close to the edge. Okay, really close. side out. Of course, this can be like as a wall hanging or even as a pillow part. Okay, so now we're going to take this, put our hand on the inside, take it and turn it all right side out. Okay, poke out everything. And then at this point, you come in and you do a nice 1/4 inch, maybe even like a little bit of a, almost to the 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. And then you have no raw edges anywhere on your project, because it seals it all in. Poke. And you can also do this the reverse way as well, depending on where you want. Okay, so we can just lay that flat for just a moment here. Show you what this looks like. Kind of want to roll those edges so you get a nice flat area. Got nothing like tucked in or puckered anywhere. Oops. Putting creases in my other one. Oops. Just unfolded it. Back under the machine, and like I said, we're going to give ourselves like a good 1/4, 1/2 inch. Do a little back stitch. We may run out of option. You could just seal up the bottom with a couple of whip stitches after you stuffed it with your poly batting. So this is like making a pillow for itself, or you can make a little slip cover for your pillow. Petals got stuck on something for some particular reason now. Closer. Okay, I need a couple more stitches. And then turn. Kind of want to keep it consistent. Okay, actually go back, do one more. And we're just going to come to about here. Go back to the table. Go back in. Take another corner. Pulling it out. Everything is all sealed up and ready for stuffing. Okay. No raw edges. You could even round these edges if you liked, if you got more of a, curvature of a pillow style going on instead of the square or rectangular. I feel like the time I, just slice right into the fabric. Wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last. Okay. And of course this ends up turning out to be just a slightly smaller on the pillow. So maybe like a 16 inch or something like that with the two. Okay. And then this one was the same. Just having it press, and then we just sew it all the way around to enclose it so it looks just like that. Thank you very much for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate you here at the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. And we've got some new adventures and stuff coming up for the next season of the Quilt Shop of 2025. I also have a lovely fat quarter, the craft cotton, designed in England. It is part of the color series that I am actually working on here today. As you can see this one here, right there. And if you're interested in possibly getting a chance to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fat quarters in this little bundle, then leave a comment below. Make sure you share and make sure you're subscribed. Okay, and ding that bell for notifications. Big hugs to you, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, and happy holidays to you and all your loved ones. Okay, just you may have noticed, you can actually see that dark coming through on the antler, so I don't like that. So I came back in and I heated up the heat and bond again after I broke all the stitches, and then I came up and I lifted what I needed to remove stitch-wise for that antler, so it's only just a small bit going to be showing back through this, okay? Unfortunately, I did actually finish off the whole pillow before I actually really realized it, so we want to fix that now. So what we can do is heat that back up just a little bit, make it smooth. We'll have to pop a few pins in there and then just go around again. But that way, this big gap of antler is not sitting underneath the white fabric, okay? So just note to self, when you lay it out and you see it, make sure you just kind of trimming it just shy of so you're not getting that big shadow effect, okay? Safety tip, don't do it twice like I did. Thanks.